Guys, thank you so much for coming. My name is Mike Tepedino, founder of Tep's Best Trackside Garlic. And I want to thank Keith. Thank you so much for having me here, the Innovation Center. We need things like this and workshops like this to keep happening. So thank you, Keith. Is that one going to work?
I'm going to try it.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Welsh. I just want to say thank you for everybody coming today. It really means a lot. I can't sit here. So, all right. So I want you guys to take a lot from this hour that I'm going to be speaking, and there's so much I could talk about this for a day. So I'm going to try to stay focused and tunnel visioned on what I want to get to you guys and for you to take away from this speech. So I want you guys to understand that everybody in this room has a story. Everybody in this room has a background. If you have a brand that you are personally trying to promote, if you have a business that you are trying to promote, every single one of you has a story to tell. So if you are not telling your story on social media, you are losing. Social media is the new CNN, the new NBC. Nobody's watching TV anymore. Nobody's looking at print ads. Nobody's reading emails. So if you are not telling your story, you are not succeeding as much as you can. So a little bit about me is I bought Trackside when I was 24 years old. I had negative money in my bank account, and I had no credit. Okay? Hear that again. I had negative money in my bank account, and I had about a 386 credit score. That means I needed $536 to get to zero. $586 to be broke. Okay? So, what I've used to my advantage in my life is building up and creating opportunities for myself. So I realized when I bought Trackside, because I was able to maneuver myself and set myself up in a position that I was able to buy my restaurant off of my hard work. And having someone believe in me that I will get the job done for me to have this restaurant. And I was able to do that within 3 months, and that's why I'm standing here today. So what I realized right away with buying Trackside is that everybody was intrigued by my story. Who are you? What are you? Why? How? And it was spreading like wildfire. And at that point, I was not on social media whatsoever. I didn't even know how to use it. I felt like it was a dating service almost. Or, right? Like back then, that's how, MySpace, you put the people in your top, your friends, you take somebody out and then they get mad at you and you're fighting with them. AOL Instant Messenger, that was the beginning of social media, right? So I didn't know what Facebook was. I didn't know that I could use that to build my personal brand or my business. So once I bought Trackside, everybody kept saying, where's your social media presence? Where's Facebook? I want to see the special of the day. I want to see this. I want to know about you. And I was like, okay. So not only did I go into Trackside, and unfortunately, it was a failing business at the time. So what I had to do was I had to lean out the staff. And I had to do every aspect of the business. So I was the busser, I was the runner, I was the cook, I was the host, I was everything. My wife and I, and my chef Tim right there. Raise your hand. So we had to lean out the people who were working there, which it was unfortunate, but it's what I had to do. And after I did that, we worked really hard. We were able to build up the business, but what I had to do is I had to get on social media. So once I got on social media, I'm doing everything. I'm also doing the marketing. So I failed a lot at social media. I did not know how to take angles. I did not know how to crop the photos. I didn't know what hashtags were. I thought they were pound signs. I didn't know anything. So I had to fail a lot to be able to succeed at social media. So what I was able to do is, I'm the kind of person that I can't be told not to do that. I have to actually go through it to learn not to do it. And that's my whole life. So what I did was, I took social media and I was posting maybe 1, 2, 3 times a week. And I was like, this doesn't even work. This doesn't work. People don't care. So then I would take the picture from last week and I would post it for this week. And then I'd take the picture from 3 weeks ago and I'd post it, and I would do that 2 to 3 times a week. And I had no success because I had no idea what I was doing. Instagram, never even touched it. Didn't know what it was, don't want to know what it is. Twitter, don't know what it is, don't want to even touch it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that have no idea or they're using it wrong. So what I did was, I was able to start using them one by one and failing at them constantly, right? So once I got good at it and I saw the traction of it, then I said I should really start to learn what these are, because I see the trends. I see people actually, I'm posting something and then they're coming in and saying, oh my God, I just had that special that you posted. And I was like, okay, this works. So a lot of people, they look at me as the restaurant guy. You're the restaurant guy. What are you doing media for? How the heck did you get in media? From not knowing what media is to opening up a company. So I got so good at social media, my team and I, that we grew ourselves in 1 year 42% on social media without spending $1. Because we have figured out how to use each platform. We have figured out how to take a picture, to crop a picture, to use the hashtags, to understand the algorithms that Facebook has, and Instagram has, and Twitter, what's good for what. And that's what I want to talk about today, to be able to help you tell your story, to help you grow your brand and your business through social media. So the first one that I worked on was Facebook. I wanted to get really good at Facebook. Now, Facebook is where you go home at night or you're on your lunch break and you just sit there and you swipe, right? You probably have the TV on in the background and you're looking at Facebook. Most people, humans are built to, for some reason, go towards the negative, right? So there's a lot of negativity on Facebook. Do you guys agree? Right? More negative than positivity, and there's a lot more gossip on Facebook. So Facebook is where people actually take the time to read. They will look at a picture, and they will also read. So if you guys are building up your social media business and your brand, you guys can write a little blog post on it, okay? You guys can take a nice photo and put it with it. That will have more success for you. Now, hashtags. On Facebook, hashtags, you should keep it minimal. And I'm going to go into hashtagging in a little bit. So hashtags on Facebook, you don't want to put a ton of them because it does not work. You want to put a couple. And I'm going to get into Instagram in a moment, where you should be using about 30 hashtags for each picture to build up your brand. Okay? So as I was building it up, the Facebook, I realized that people were engaging, they were sharing, and that's what you want. You want engagement. Engagement in Facebook is you want people to share everything that you're doing. So you have to create content constantly that people are going to like, they're going to share, and they're going to comment. So the new algorithm on Facebook is that they are awarding businesses to put up good content. So all of the bad content that people are putting up, they're actually going to push it to the bottom, and they are not going to put it to the top. So you're not ever going to see bad content on social media. They're going to award people for good content. Now, what is good content? Good content are great pictures, great videos. Ever go through Facebook and you're just like, who took this picture? It is horrible. or there's bad content that nobody's liking, nobody's sharing, nobody's commenting on, they're not going to allow that on there anymore. So they're going to award businesses. So the better your content is, the more your consumers are going to be looking at it and seeing it. Now, in my business, Tep's Best Media, we have a product called Social or Starve. And when we sit down with clients and business owners, we ask them, how many times a week are you guys posting? And a lot of them are like, I'm great at social media. I post 2 to 3 times a week. And that's what I used to do, right? Because I was the host, the busser, the runner. I was in it. And when you're in your business, posting 2 to 3 times a week, that takes up a lot of your time. So what you should be doing is posting 2 to 3 times a day. Now, a lot of you guys will say that is a full-time job, and you're exactly right. Social media, Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, it is a full-time business for your brand and in your business. So if you're not putting somebody on social media full-time, you guys are losing. It is imperative that you guys do this. I grew 42% in the restaurant business, where 8 to 12% is a lot. And I grew 42% for free, just using social media. Social media is free. You guys could pay for the ads. You guys could do all that. That's fine. I've tried it. But I have had success not spending $1 on social media. So the content that you put in front of people has to be good. Your consumer wants to see good content. And Facebook also thinks that. So when you're taking a picture, I always tell people the first step of taking a good picture is angles. Right? You want to have good angles on your photo. So after I say that, people, that's why you see people standing on chairs, taking pictures, and they're doing all that crazy stuff. That's real. If you look at us taking pictures, you're like, what are you guys doing? But then you see the final product and you understand the content that we're putting out. It's a real thing. The millennials get so much slack for being on social media all the time. I know that I got in trouble a lot for being on social media when I was younger. And now my whole media company is built on the millennials working the social media. It's like the kids that were playing video games in the 80s and the 90s, always getting in trouble, and now they're coding video games for a living. So we have to look at trends. So, content, taking a picture. If I take a picture of this water bottle, and I want to focus on this water bottle, what a lot of people will do is they'll take a picture that starts here and ends there. Not watching the backdrop, not watching what's on the side. So the first thing I tell people is to crop the photo from here to here, because that's your subject. You don't want to get all this other stuff, the computer, the microphone, the flags in the back. You have to see everything that you're taking a picture of. There's that much time in just taking the picture. So crop your photos. Crop your photos. There's so many photos that I see on Instagram, and I just want to message them, which I do, and I actually edit their pictures. I crop their pictures, and I send it to them and said, use this one. I do it so many times, and I'll send it to everybody in the company, and I'll say, this is what they should have done. And that's how I teach. I just do. Right? So crop your photos. Crop them. There is many, we do a lot on our iPhones. And there's a lot of applications that back up to edit and crop and blur the background of your photo. That's another thing. If you want people to look at this, and you've all seen those pictures where they circle something in the back and it's not what they're supposed to be focusing on. So there's a lot of the times we'll take the whole background and we'll blur it so people can look at what you're selling, the water bottle. So make sure you guys are paying attention to the content that you're putting in front of your customers and your consumers. Another big mistake that people are doing out there, business owners, people who have their own brand, is they're forgetting to tell their story on social media. Your story is the most important thing that you could be telling on social media. It has worked 100%. Every single person in here matters and has a story that matters. We can all sell water bottles, But the person and the people in here that tell their story while they're selling that water bottle, they're going to sell the most. I could tell my story and never mention the water bottle, and I'll probably sell more than half of you guys in here. Because your story is what matters. So I'll go on people's, when we're doing a social media audit, look at your page. If you're just posting and selling stuff, you're doing it wrong. Anybody could do that. Anybody could just post a bottle of water and sell it for $1.99. Every single person. But that's not going to sell the water bottle. If you make music, if you're an artist, everybody has art. Look at all these paintings around the room. What makes you different? Your story. Tell your story. You have to build your personal brand along with your business. It's like in the music industry. Back in the day, in the music industry, an artist can just do a concert, get on stage, do the concert, and leave. What do they have to do nowadays? Meet and greets. Those are the most popular artists in the music industry right now. Are people who stay afterwards and do meet and greets. So what does that tell you? If they have to do that and they're famous, what do you guys have to do? You have to build your personal brand for everyone to see. Your personal brand is everything. So when I bought Trackside, it wasn't that I bought Trackside. It was my story of how I bought Trackside. It was my story that I was 24. It was my story that I was a busser at the same restaurant that I bought. How the heck did this busser go from cleaning tables to owning the restaurant he's in? That's what people were intrigued by. So get your story out there. And a lot of people have a fear of getting their story out there. Why? Because they're afraid of being judged. Your story is very impersonal to you. Your story it's emotional. So getting your story out there is a step that a lot of people are afraid to take because they're afraid of what people will think of them. Their mom, their dad, their friends, the people that they don't know. I'm not going to lie, when I put my story out there, the way of the world, haters. Haters, haters, haters. Who is this kid? Why? I was told over and over again that you will fail. You will not succeed. Business is hard. And if you look on all the social media platforms, you see the same thing. It's unfortunate. So it's something that if you're going to put your personal brand out there, grow your skin a little bit. Make it thick. Don't have the fear. So my wife never had social media before our media company. And she has her reasons of why she didn't have it. But once she did get it, and she put herself out there, it was taking the first step to get yourself out there and to build up your brand by having your personal brand alongside of what your business is. Another thing, while building your personal brand and your business, you're going to get reviews online. So we teach in Tep's Best Media how to handle reviews. So I know in my business, I work 100 hours a week. Non-stop, I'm always working, and I'm sure a lot of you business owners understand what I'm saying right now. You eat, sleep, and breathe your business and your brand, right? So one thing that consumers love to do is review you. They love the reviews. They love getting on Yelp. They love going on Google. They love going on Facebook and everywhere and reviewing you. My advice to you is, since you are so emotional about your business, because you're in it, you breathe it, you eat it, do not respond to them. Have somebody who is emotionally detached. Emotionally detached review to respond to that review. Does that make sense? You want somebody who is not emotional about your business to respond to them. Because the review, people could be nasty out there. Everybody's a big man behind the keyboard. So when you are responding to a bad review or a good review, you should have somebody else do it who is not emotionally attached to the business or your brand. It will come off a lot better than if you do it, because you're always going to throw some jabs in there because, you know, they're throwing uppercuts at you. So make sure you are always having somebody else craft up those responses. Excuse me 1 second, just need some water. Also, you want to stay true. So you're going to get reviews, and you want to stay true to yourself on social media. The biggest thing I also see is people, they don't like something, so somebody will change it. You know, when I first got into business, I started dressing, you know, different than this right here. So I had a nicer shirt on, and I had pants on, slacks, and I hate dressing up at any point. I don't like it. I'm the most uncomfortable. I like to be in sneakers, jeans, and a t-shirt. And if I find a t-shirt that works, I buy all of them, okay? And that's my life. But you don't want to, and I got told by everybody, you're the restaurant owner, you should be in a suit while running that food. You should be in a suit while, you know, wiping that table down. Yeah, well, you wear a suit and you go wipe the table down, you know? That's not me. So a lot of people try to persuade you while you're building a brand or your business. And I want to say to you guys that it's your brand. You do what you want to do. Stay true to yourself. You don't have to veer off your plan because of somebody else. Stay true to who you are. And that's what I've done from day one, is being consistent of who I am. Being consistent of who I am. So I want to jump off of Facebook right now and go into Instagram. Instagram is the complete opposite. People do not read on Instagram. Instagram is a quick saying under your picture. Okay, so same quality of photos and content. You guys have to have angles, you have to crop your photos, you have to understand that what people are looking at on the platform. So people are looking at pictures. They're scrolling, but they're looking at the pictures. If they read, it's probably 1%. They're not reading. You know, once in a while you get somebody like, love your caption. I'm always like, whoa, they actually read it. So keep it to one sentence, a couple words, one word, put a period, and then do about 30 hashtags. That's how you build your followers and your engagement on Instagram, are hashtags. Now, hashtags, what are hashtags? We call it hashtagging. Hashtags are how that picture gets put out into the world. So you always want to put local, specific, and broad hashtags. So what does that mean? So if I have this water bottle and I want to hashtag it, I want to say hashtag ESU. Hashtag ESU Innovation Center. Hashtag water bottle. Now water bottle is very broad. I want to say hashtag Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Hashtag PA. Hashtag water. Hashtag plastic. Hashtag recycle. You want to make it specific, you want to make it local, and you want to make it broad. And you want to do about 30 hashtags to build up your Instagram. Hashtagging is one of the most important things. So Instagram, what they did was they actually changed it so where you're not just following people now. You can actually follow hashtags. Instagram just implemented that in their last update. You can follow hashtags. So I follow this one hashtag, it's called Food Beast. And they post these awesome pictures of food. And it's like wild, you know, spicy Cheetos in a burger with cheese dripping. I mean, amazing. And you get to see on there, though, what other people, why would you want to hashtag Food Beast? Because they have awesome pictures and you want to be involved in that, right? So when I go through ESU, there's a lot of pictures of me because our team hashtags ESU because we have an intern program with ESU. So I want people, the students from ESU, to see me while they're scrolling through all the hashtags. But then we also hashtag New York City. I want people to see me in New York City, right? If I'm selling water bottles, I want people who are looking up water bottles to go under that hashtag and see me. So what you also can do is now you want to work the hashtags. Now you're not done with Instagram. So you hashtagged everything under your picture. Now how do I build a bigger reach through the hashtags? You click on the hashtags, and I see these three ladies right here Also hashtagging water, right? So I go on your social media Instagram page and I comment on it, wow, great photo, looks awesome. And I personalize it. A lot of people, I'm sure you guys have gotten these comments under your pictures and you're like, how did they even find me? Well, they copy a saying, they go under a hashtag, and they just copy and paste it. Because they want you to get you to click on their page to follow them if you like it. That's what you should be doing. So, but I don't recommend copying and pasting the comment. Make it personalized. Use their name in the comment. Use, you know, you love they love skiing, so hey, great picture of skiing in Colorado. You know, personalize the comment under the photo to them. It will get them engaged more in your, you have more of a chance of them clicking on your page and following you and engaging on your social media page. So work your hashtags. Even if you spend an hour a day, or the person in your business spends an hour a day going through the hashtags and commenting on other people's who are using that same hashtags or a group of those hashtags, that's what you want to do. Work the hashtags. It will build up your Instagram a lot faster. Also, there's this common misconception that you're really cool if you have a bunch of followers and you don't follow anybody. Okay, well, if you're Katy Perry and you have 90 million followers and you're following 700, you are really cool. Congratulations. But if you are building your brand and you are building a business brand, follow other people. Follow them. You want to follow them. You want to have your followers up here. That's how it is in the beginning. Don't worry about it if you're cool or not with how many people you're following. It doesn't matter. You're trying to build yourself up. I did that for 6 years. I followed everybody. I would go on every single one of their pages. I would comment under their pictures. So make sure you're following people as well. And then another thing, it's called social media, not just media. You have to be social on social media to be successful. So if somebody comments under your photo, great photo, comment under it, thank you. Or a smiley face. It's not one-sided, and it should never be one-sided. I get a lot of laughs like that, right? But people are forgetting to engage themselves in the people that follow you. You have to engage in yourself. Say thank you. Talk to them. Comment under their photos. Make it two-sided, a two-way street. You don't want it to be one-sided. Social media. Get involved in social media with every one of your followers. So you want to get into the hashtags, and then you want to comment, and you also want to comment back to other people. Does that make sense? Great. Twitter. I feel like Twitter, in my experience and in my opinion, is your personal brand. So if you are building your personal brand along with your business, and there's some people that disagree with this, but I feel like Twitter is kind of on the downhill. But I feel like it still works for your personal brand, because I don't want one of my interns tweeting, thinking of what I'm going to say to something. I don't agree with that. I think the person, if you're building your personal brand, you could tweet all day because it's coming from you. But don't have someone else on your page trying to build your business or your personal brand through what they think you would say. Don't do it. Most people, like, look at the president, you know? He likes to tweet himself, right? Now, most people follow him because they know that he's doing it, because it means something else. So if they know that you're doing it, most celebrities, they're tweeting themselves. That's the account that they do themselves because it builds their Twitter account to a larger, massive audience. So if you're on Twitter, make sure it's coming from you while you're building your personal brand. And then with Twitter, that's where hashtags originated. So it's the same thing. You know, they give you a limited amount of space and text that you could use. But make sure you're also hashtagging. Make it specific to your brand, and then put like one or two that are general, broad. So Twitter is on the downhill. I don't really do it. YouTube. The one thing that I also have built up my company, my personal brand, is having a show, right? There's this new ad on Facebook all over the place, and there's this guy saying, have a show. You're not Gary Vee. You're not this person. You're not. Have a show. It's so true. You guys, it has a live feature. It has a story feature. It has a video feature. And it has a picture feature. Most people just use the photo on both Facebook and Instagram. Get on live. Create a show. I don't care if it's in your kitchen, your bathroom, your walk-in closet. I don't care where it is. Create a show. People want to know who you are. People want to know what you're saying. They want to know everything about you. So if you have a show about something. Talk about makeup. Talk about your music. Talk about your art. Talk about something. Get people to tune in. I don't care if you have one follower. Everybody gets caught up on how many people are watching me. Am I cool? They keep thinking that. Am I cool? Am I cool? What does everybody think about me? How many followers do I have? How many viewers? If you have one viewer, you could get 1 million viewers. But it's about being consistent and not quitting. It's about, if you pick Tuesdays and Thursdays to do your show, do it every Tuesdays and Thursday. Don't let yourself not do the show. It's the only way to build up your social media. It's only the way to build up your followers and the people engaged in it. My wife and I have a show on Mondays and Thursdays. It's a radio show. We do Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and we have about how many thousands of people listening to us on the radio. But we have a show. It's called Hustle Hour if you guys want to tune in. Okay, 9 o'clock on Mondays and 7 o'clock live on Thursdays, so tonight. And what we do is we talk about what we want to talk about: entrepreneurship, never giving up, relationships, the hustle. It's called the Hustle Hour for a reason. So you always want to have a show. You want to brand yourself along with the business. I have people coming in, and you just know that they're fans, right? So they're walking in, and they're like giving you this fisheye, like, oh boy, like, I know who you are. And I always, obviously, because I like to be engaged, I go up and I shake my hand, and they literally came in because they heard or saw me on the show. That's it. That's why they're eating at Trackside. That's why they're eating at Garlic. It's happened to me so many times. We had just went down to Miami, South Beach. I'm walking on Ocean Drive. Now this is Ocean Drive, South Beach, Miami. Busy as anything. I'm walking by, and all of a sudden I hear, Tep's Best! Tep's Best! And I'm like, who is here? The general manager of this one restaurant, a fish called Avalon, stopped me in the middle of Ocean Drive to tell me she knew me and she followed me and she loves our show. And I was like blown away. I was like, this doesn't happen to, Mike Tepedino from Stroudsburg. It just doesn't happen. But it is happening because social media is worldwide. You have to understand that. This restaurant ended up paying us to come back the next day to eat at their restaurants to review their food, their service, and their chef. Wow, all because of a show. So use the feature on your phone to make a show. Pick 15 minutes to start. Pick a half hour. Pick an hour. Pick 2 hours. But have a show of some sort. Have a show and then cut it up and then post videos of it throughout the week. Put it on your story. Put it on Facebook. A big mistake that everybody's doing, they'll do something on Facebook, copy and paste it on Instagram. Or they'll copy and paste it off of Instagram and put it on Facebook. They're not the same platform. It's like taking tires off a Toyota Corolla and putting it on my Toyota Tundra. It doesn't work. You have to use each platform the way it is built to work. So, again, Facebook, picture. You can write a blog post under the picture. People are going to read it. They're going to take the time on Facebook to read it. Their attention span is a little bit longer on Facebook. So if you have a minute video that you want somebody to see, post it on Facebook. Then take that minute video and cut it down to 10 to 15 seconds for Instagram. Because that's all that people's attention is on Instagram. It's Insta. They're looking through it really quick. So if you don't catch their attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds, you lost them on Instagram. Facebook, you have more of a chance of actually looking at it and everybody else reading it, sharing it. Even when we do our show on Mondays and Thursdays, we have more viewers and shares and likes on Facebook than we do Instagram. Doesn't make me stop doing Instagram Live. It just shows you that the platforms are completely different. We'll have 1,300 people, 300 people, 500 people watch the show on Facebook. And then Instagram, you get 22 people. Because people aren't going on Instagram to do that. So make sure you're working each platform correctly. It's really, really imperative and important. But guys, have a show. Use your stories. If you guys don't know what stories are, you guys are clicking on the stories. If you're clicking on the stories and you don't have one, have a story on Instagram. So the stories are at the top of your page, and it has that pink circle around it because you haven't watched it yet. And then as you click on them, it pushes the other ones that you haven't seen to the front. You should be on there. People should be watching it. You'll actually have more views on your story than you will a video that you post on your feed. A lot more people want to see and click through it really quick, and that's what they want to do. And then what you're able to do is you're able to attach your product to the story. So when they swipe up, it takes you right to their website. Takes them right to the page of your website to buy the product if they're interested. That's what you should be doing. Working the social media platforms. So have a show. Make a longer version on YouTube. Okay, YouTube. You should have a YouTube channel. You should be posting everything on YouTube. So what does all this matter? Social media. What do all these platforms matter? So if you have a website out there, when we do SEO, and SEO is search engine optimization. So on Google, you want to be the first couple results. You want to be on the first page. So when you're using Facebook, and you're using Instagram, and you're using YouTube, make sure your keywords are also in your social media platforms. Because when someone searches Mike Tepedino, a lot of my Instagram and Facebook and my Hustle Hour, everything comes up. So make sure you know what your keywords are and you're using them on your social media platforms. It all intertwines with each other. It intertwines with your brand, your website, your media. It will take them to every single place that you are. But if you're missing that key factor when they go to search for a water bottle, you won't be on there. So make sure you're using your keywords in your hashtags, in your captions, in your blog posts. Make sure you're doing that because your SEO, you'll be on the first page of Google. Now Google is a crazy thing. So you have dictionaries, you have encyclopedias, you have the Bible, and then you have Google, right? Everybody goes to Google to find out the real answer. They're like, I don't believe you, I'll Google it. I don't believe it, I'll Google it. So what you should be thinking is, Google equals the truth. Google equals the truth. So think about that for a second. What people read on Google is what they're actually going to think is the truth. So if I say Tep's Best Media is the best media company in the world over and over and over again, guess what people are going to say when they see it on Google? Tep's Best Media is the best media company in the world. They're going to read that on Google, and it all automatically becomes the truth. So think about that while you're building your Instagram pages, your Facebook pages. You want to make what you are doing the truth. So everything should come back to Google. Because Google on the web right now is the Bible. It is the truth. It is that's what we do when we want to find out information. And we don't go past the first page, right? We go on the first page and that's it. This is the best roofer. Why? Because they're number one, 5 stars, 4.5 star, and they're done. That's how we were able to build Trackside and Garlic. When you go on and you shop restaurants in the Poconos, we're number 1, we're number 2. Because it's the truth. We're the best. It's on Google. It says it. It's the truth. That's where you want to be with your brand. That's where you want to be with your business. You want to be the best. So what we've been able to do in 100 days in our media company, we have over 30 clients, and we just signed up 7 this week, because what we're doing for people is we are building their business and their personal brand off of everything I'm telling you here today, and I don't have enough time to even get in depth, so I'm trying to get everything out. But it all goes together while building your personal brand and your business. So if there's anything that if you don't take away anything during the day, this speech, take away this. Your personal brand is much more important than building your business brand. People want to know, the consumers want to know who you are. They want to know your story. They do not buy from people they only buy from people they know, like, and trust. So if they don't know you, they ain't going to buy from you. If they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. And if they don't like you, they're definitely not going to buy from you. Okay? So build something that they know, like, and trust you, and that's getting your story out. So you can't just be posting about how great your water bottle is. They want to know who you are selling it, telling them that. So understand that. It's very important. You're building your personal brand, you're building your business brand, you're on Google, you're doing all that. Now you have to maintain it. Okay? So how you maintain it is posting 2 to 3 times a day. Okay? Now a lot of people ask me, is there too much? Is posting 5, 6 a day, is that too much? And I say yes. Okay? Because what starts to happen is all they see is you, and then they're going to unfollow you, and it's going to be done. So what we figured out for different industries, you have to post at different times. So for restaurants, you want to post before they go into work, right? Before you're going into work, if you own a restaurant, you're in the food business, post before they go to work. So 8 o'clock, they're driving to work, they're looking, they're seeing that cheeseburger. Oh boy, that cheeseburger. My lunch break, I'm going to go get that cheeseburger. Right? So when they go to lunch, they're going to come to Trackside, or they're going to go wherever you're taking pictures and showing the special for that day. So you also want to post around 4 o'clock for a restaurant, because then they're thinking about it when they get out. Or a drink, you want to post a drink, a nice cold, ice cold beer with some wings, right? It's all about timing as well. So every industry that we are posting for, it's not the same times. Sometimes we have clients and we post at 11:30 p.m. because we have found for certain clients that's the time that most people are interested in tires. It's the weirdest thing. 11:30 p.m. is when people are interested about tires and reading about tires and getting new tires, snow tires, used tires, new tires. I mean, it is crazy. So how did we get to that point? We tested a bunch of different times. We worked the platforms and understood that times matter of when you're posting. If I say 2 to 3 times a day, you don't want to post them back to back to back at 2:30. That doesn't work, right? It goes away. So make sure you are practicing and you are testing different times while posting. Time is very, very important while you're posting. And you're going to fail a lot. It's okay to fail. Just don't quit. Failure is a part of success. You know, a lot of people will say, why did that person fail? And I say, they didn't fail, they quit. So you're going to be doing this, and it takes a little bit of time to understand and learn and figure out the times, but that doesn't mean you should quit. Just do it a different time. Your show, that you have created, you're going to have 1 follower. Be consistent with it. Tell me how it's going in 2 years, in 3 years. That's when I want to know how it's going. I don't want to know after a month, after 2 months. I don't care. You shouldn't either. Do it, turn it off, and keep moving. Don't even look at the followers. A lot of people are like, how do I build my followers and my engagement and this and that? Be consistent. That's how. Constantly and consistently put up content in front of your consumers that means something to them. Don't just try to sell them. Don't just try to sell the water bottle over and over and over again. Give them 3 good, feel-good pictures, feel-good videos to help them in their life. And then you make money off of it. Do that for 2 months. Feel good, feel good. Give it to the customer. Let them have it. They're following you because they like you now, right? They're following you because you mean something to them. And then once you put up that t-shirt with your brand on it, they're going to be like, I want that. Because they like you. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Guys, I want to say thank you so much to Keith, the Innovation Center, and Dr. Welch.